Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Today is Bhadrava Masha Shukla Paksha Ashtami Tithi. That is the 8th day after the full moon of Shravana and the birthday of Lord Krishna. Sri Krishna, as the name means, is the one who is capable of attracting everyone. The name Krishna also means absolute truth. Lord Krishna is the 8th and the most colorful, most adorable avatar of Lord Vishnu. He is symbolized as the best example of truth, love, dharma and courage. Krishna is considered as the savior of humanity and the remover of all sufferings. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. I bow to Lord Krishna. I worship Lord Krishna, who is the son of Vasudeva, who is the cause of Mother Devaki's immense happiness, one who killed Kansa and Chanura, and who is the supreme teacher and the spiritual master of the whole universe. Krishna attracts everyone: cows, calves, birds, trees, plants, and even the water in Vrindavan. He is attractive to Gopalas, Gopis, Nandaraja, and to the Pandavas, also to the entire human race. Lord Krishna is always pictured with a crown of peacock's feather playing flute. Krishna is the symbol of divine love, and divine love expresses itself by entering into man and filling his whole being. The flute is human heart. Flute has several holes. It represents human body. Lord Krishna lives in human body as soul, Atma. The sound that comes out from the flute is Om, which is God only, and the heart, which is made hollow, will become a flute for God of love to play upon. When our heart is not empty, that means when it is filled with anger, hatredness, greediness, jealousy, we can say, when there is no scope in the heart, there is no place for love. Here, I am sharing some interesting facts of Krishna's flute. There are 8 different tunes that Lord plays. First tune breaks Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva's meditation, and they forget everything in astonishment. Second tune makes Yamuna flow backward. Third tune makes moon stop moving. Fourth tune makes cows run towards Krishna and get stunned listening to the flute. The fourth note attracts the gopis and made them running towards him. Sixth tune melts stone and creates Sarad Ritu. Seventh note manifests all seasons, and eighth note is for Radha. Interesting part of Krishna's flute playing is that the sound can be heard only by them for whom it is played and none others. Krishna is considered to be completely pure and free from any sensual desire. Peacock in India are considered to be a symbol of purity. Krishna wears the peacock feather, which symbolizes the entire range of colors humans are made of, and that every one of us a part of the Almighty. As God, He is formless, but to mortals, He appears blue by day and black by night, making Him just like a peacock feather. So, that is the spiritual significance of peacock feather. Now, let me share some interesting story with some spiritual significance. There is a beautiful story in Purana. It speaks Krishna jumping into river Yamuna in the very presence of his parents, friends, relatives, he jumped into the river. They all thought he was gone. The story says Krishna went to the bottom of the river and there was a 1,000-headed dragon. Krishna began to blow his flute and play the mantra Om. With that Omkar Dhwani, he went on jumping and dancing upon the crested head of the dragon. In half an hour the dragon was dead and the water of river turned into blood. All the wives of dragon came to pay homage to Lord Krishna. After some time, Krishna came up the river. All were happy to see him again. This is the story of Kaliya Mardana. This story has great meaning. The river represents the mind. Whoever wants to become Krishna, he has to enter deep into the lake of his own mind. The dragon represents our passion, desire for worldly objects. One who destroys these desires, he can see Krishna, he can feel Krishna, he can live Krishna. The heads, tongues and fangs of poisonous snake are the innumerable ones. One has to crush them one by one. When the dragon of passion is destroyed, one will turn into a purified person and will realize Krishna. Many of us do not know that he also brought back the 6 sons of Devaki from the heaven for a brief union. Kansa was Kalanemi in his previous birth. He was killed by Lord Vishnu in that birth. The 6 sons of Devaki were Kalanemi's son in his previous birth and were cursed by Hiranyakashipu that they would be killed by their own father. Hence, Kansa killed 6 sons of Devaki in their next birth. There is also an interesting story about Ekalavya. You know, children, Ekalavya was famous for archery, who cut his thumb to pay Guru Dakshina to Dronacharya. Actually, Ekalavya was Krishna's cousin. He was the son of Devashrava, brother of Vasudeva, who got lost in the forest and was found by a hunter, Hiranyadhanu. Ekalavya died protecting his father during Rukmini Swayamvar. He was killed by Lord Krishna. For his great sacrifice of Guru Dakshina, Krishna blessed Ekalavya that he would be soon reincarnated and take revenge on Drona. You know, children, this person was Drishtadyumna, who killed Drona in the next birth. Krishna had altogether 16,108 wives, of whom only 8 were princely wives. His other 16,100 wives were rescued from Narakasura. They had been forcibly kept in his palace. Krishna rescued them, freed them. These women were not accepted by their family members, so Krishna married them. Now, children, I will tell you a story which tells that Krishna was always with Dharma. He lived Dharma throughout his life and he showed the highest example of detachment. That means he was never attached to any kind of thing. In the great war of Mahabharata, Gandhari lost 100 sons and was in deep remorse. When Lord Krishna appeared before her, Gandhari said that in next 36 years, the entire Jaduvansa will be perished. This was the curse which was given by Gandhari to Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna said, Tathastu. This curse of Gandhari served 2 purposes. Lord Krishna in his earlier avatara killed Bali. He assured Bali's widow, Tara, that Bali would be able to take revenge in his next birth. The hunter Jara, who killed Krishna in the next birth, was actually Bali reborn. And in this life he ended Sri Krishna's stay on the earth with a simple arrow. Thus Gandhari's curse and his assurance both have been fulfilled. In front of Lord Krishna, entire Yadu dynasty was destroyed, and Krishna accepted everything silently, quietly, happily. This was his level of detachment. Krishna is the embodiment of righteousness. Let us devote ourselves fully towards Lord Krishna and make this Janmashtami special. Let us seek the Lord's blessings to guide us in the path of Swadharma. Hari Om.